Welcome to the Sonora Winds
virtual
concert. I am Marta the bassoonist and your virtual host. I am so excited for you to hear two different pieces by living composers written recently. The first piece on the program is by Maciej Małecki, who lives in Warsaw,
Wisconsin?
No, Warsaw, Poland. So who knows where Poland is located?
Europe?
If you guessed Europe, you are correct. Poland is in Europe and neighbors 7 different countries: Germany, Czech Republic, Russia. Fun fact, the center of Europe is in Poland. Throughout the centuries, Poland was an entrance to the West and East. That's why many wars were fought over its land. The most recent one being the World War II, of course. Our composer Maciej lives in Warsaw, which is the capital city of Poland. He has been writing music for more than 50 years. His music can be heard in radio, theater, TV, and in concert halls in Poland, Europe, and now in your classroom. The piece you will hear was written for the Sonora Winds in 2020, and you are one of the first people to hear it. The second piece on our concert is written by Jenny Brandon, who lives in Long Beach, California. Jenny writes a lot of chamber music for a limited number of instruments. Over the years, she wrote a lot of music involving oboe and bassoon. She will join us today live for a Google Meet after the concert.
So can I ask questions?
Of course. Please do. We hope you enjoy the concert.
Composing is an adventure, like a journey into an unfamiliar land. Writing for only 3 instruments is a challenge which demands, in some sense, to limit imagination, forget about very rich chords, wide dynamics, etc. Generally speaking, it requires to confine some musical elements. In our case, the most flexible instrument seems to be the clarinet, with possibilities of playing 3 forte and 3 piano dynamics. The bassoon has specific but beautiful nasal sound, while the oboe has tendency to sing. All those instruments have several registers and technical abilities. I think that challenging part for the composer while writing for this specific group is, in some way, to remain modest and not demand too much from the players. During the summer of 2020, Marta and I started to talk about the commission, and the main question was what to compose. At first, I thought of Polish folk inspirations, which seemed to be the most natural and easy way for me. However, there are only two examples in four stories of these thoughts. The first example refers to the second movement, Pranks, where one can find the elements of Polish dance Krakowiak. The name Krakowiak has roots in the name of the city Kraków, the ancient capital of Poland. The beat of Krakowiak has the characteristic syncopation happening on the second eighth note in the bar. In fact, in this movement, rhythm is only an allusion to the dance. emotions is present in the last movement. In fact, it is entitled Dance. The beginning and the ending of that movement represents very fast mazurka called oberek. While the middle of the piece is a slow mazurka called kujawiak, the last name taken from the region in Poland called Kujawy.
Hi, I'm Jenny Brandon, and I'm the composer of the Sequoia Trio for oboe, clarinet, and bassoon. And this work is inspired by a trip that I took to Sequoia National Park in California. And when I saw these giant, amazing trees, I knew that I wanted to tell their story through music. It was also inspired by the book The Yosemite by John Muir, and quotes from his book appear throughout this work as inspiration for each of the movements. In movement one, the opening waving pattern that creates this gentle breeze through the crowns of these giant trees. And I wanted to represent this growth of the trees, but also of the breeze blowing through them, starting from the bassoon and working its way all the way up through the oboe. In the second movement, a crowd of hopeful young trees and saplings is sassy and jazzy, and I wanted to give these trees a kind of resilient attitude that they have to have in order to survive. In the third movement, the three graces, this idea comes from Greek mythology, or the goddesses of charm, beauty, and creativity. And Muir talked about this in his book, The Yosemite. And I love this idea of these three goddesses like our three instruments, but also to tell the story of how these three trees might be separate, but as they grow and grow and their trunks get bigger and bigger, they eventually begin to touch and meld together. And in the fourth movement, the noble trees, it begins with a hymn-like tribute to the largest living things on earth, these sequoia trees, and then ends with remembrance of the gentle breeze blowing through the crowns of these giant trees. And I want to thank you so much for listening to Sequoia Trio, and I hope you enjoy the work, and I hope you'll take a chance to get to know even more about these amazing trees.